Someone really needs to do something about these greedy restaurants in America, man, because some of them are absolutely getting out of control. And don't get me wrong, I understand that inflation numbers are high right now and their cost is really high and they have to pay their employees and so on and so forth. I get that, but what I'm talking about is some greedy restaurants taking advantage of the inflation situation. They're not just charging in pace with inflation. No, they're charging fees on top of fees on top of fees on top of the inflation number that's official. So in this video, for instance, you're gonna see some outrageous practices like restaurants charging gratuity and then the tip on top of that, and we're talking about $20-$30 here. And also keep watching till the end. You're gonna see some shocking fees being charged now by the restaurants, like inflation adjustment fee for eating out after 10 p.m. and it's like $8. That is absolutely absurd. Inflation should already be reflected in the pricing of their food items. That's why chicken tenders now are like $20 when they used to be $10. That's called inflation. You don't need to charge an inflation adjustment fee on top of that. That is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion. And a lot of people are actually starting to say no. Till the end of this video, you're gonna see a girl reveal the study that shows, interestingly enough, that Americans are actually eating out less and less. And they're actually also tipping less and less frequent because of the backlash. Because people are really fed up with the new tipping culture and the extra fees, and they're starting to push back against it. Keep watching to see people share their experiences with some absurd, greedy restaurants, and some almost funny.
And in 2026, I need you to keep that iPad flipped towards you, okay? I don't want to tip for groceries and clothes that I picked up myself. It's really awkward. I also do not want to donate to whatever charity that I haven't researched that you need to donate to as a huge corporation. Like, why are you, Sprouts, asking me to round up $2 instead of rounding up yourself? Like, I feel like you as the organization, you have like how many stores? Y'all are doing too much. You're asking too much. We're tired. Keep the iPad towards you. Thanks.
Hey, yo, listen, bro. Tipping culture is getting out of hand, bro. It's getting out of hand. Why is everywhere asking for a fucking tip nowadays? I am not a cheap person. I love tipping my barber. I love tipping the bartender. I love tipping the waiter. But why do I have to tip the barista at fucking Starbucks when they just gonna put 95% ice in my iced coffee anyway? Why? Why am I tipping them when my beverage is literally done after 2 fucking sips? Why am I tipping them? Please tell me. Why am I tipping the person that's preparing my food at Chipotle? Why am I tipping them? Please tell me. They don't even give you a generous amount of meat anymore. Pause. They don't even do... Remember when they used to give you 2 scoops of meat? Now you're lucky if you get a half a scoop. And then when you ask them for double meat, they got the nerve to look at you like they got a fucking problem. You ain't even give me no fucking meat. And because I'm asking for double the meat, you still only give me the amount that you should have given me in the first place. And bro, don't even get me started on Subways, bro. Man, listen, every time I go to motherfucking Subways, I ask for a sandwich, right? Why is it that they giving me more vegetable? Why do I have a fucking vegetable sandwich with meat on it? Please tell me that. They give you just a little bit of meat, but as soon as you ask them for lettuce or spinach, they put a whole fucking acres of lettuce on there. Why? I don't want a vegetable sandwich. Like, but after they put the lettuce, after they put the vegetables on it, you don't even see the meat anymore. The meat is gone. You'd be damned if you even taste it, for that matter. The price is going up, but they give you less food. Like, this shit is really getting out of control. They really sitting out, they really playing in our faces out here, yo. Really getting. What are we gonna do about this? Because enough is enough already. This is exactly why every time I go to Chipotle, I still eat Tabasco sauce. This is exactly why. And I'm not going to stop. Sue me. Because I'm not going to stop doing it. Every time I go in that motherfucker, when you call yourself short-handing me on my food, you're going to lose some Tabasco sauce. Maybe even 2.
So I just went to a local barbecue spot to pick up dinner for my family later today. And mind you, it's just 4 of us, 2 kids and me and my husband. We're not even all here. I got 2 other kids, older kids that are away at college. But I get our usual things that we get, and it's $198 just for 4 people. I feel like if I'm spending that much, I should be feeding a whole room of people. But no, just for us. That's how much it is. Yes, this is a local spot that I've eaten at for years. The food is good, don't get me wrong, but just watching the prices just creep up for same experience, same food, just more money. That's all pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, to me, I guess I need to get myself in the backyard and learn how to barbecue. I don't know. I felt like my mom back in the day when she would say, no, baby, we got food at home. We're not getting that. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I don't like these restaurant prices at all. It's highway robbery, in my opinion. Y'all let me know.
I'm not no fortune teller, nor can I predict the future. But Burger King, y'all not getting no more of my money because y'all charge me $8.57 for just a Whopper, not a double Whopper. So let's calculate. Let's calculate the Whopper. $1 for the bun, $1 for mayo, $1 for lettuce, $1 for ketchup, that's $4 already. $1 for cheese, that's $5. $1 for onions, that's $6. $1 for 2 pickles, that's $7. And the patty, I guess that's the $8. So y'all charge me $8.57 for a Whopper. A Whopper. I can guarantee you I'm gonna enjoy eating this Whopper because it'll be my last one. It'll be my last one. How is we supposed to afford groceries and fast food? Like, we gotta pick a choice. So now I feel like I gotta go home and share this Whopper with my kids because it's $8.57. This is like gonna be our last gourmet burger. It's gonna be gourmet, y'all, for $8.57. This not Wagyu beef. Like, this not even top sirloin. All y'all doing is putting liquid smoke on the doggone Whopper to make it flame broil. Come on now. Y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta do better. That's all I'm saying.
You know, I'm not one to complain, but I'm fin to. Because I'm tired. I'm sick. The problem with the situation is, in my household, everybody want to eat fast food 24/7. Nobody wants to eat grocery store food. As if they allergic to a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Or they allergic to tuna and crackers. Or Vienna and crackers. Or oodles and noodles. Don't nobody want to eat it. Everybody want to eat McDonald's, Chipotle, Buffalo Wild Wings, Firehouse Subs, Zaxby's. They want to eat everything underneath the sun. And half of the people who want to eat it ain't even got the money to afford the food that they want. And I'm just going to be so transparent. I'm sick and tired of checking my bank statements. And the bill is $400, $500 on fast food. You know what I'm saying? And then when you bring this up, it's like you trying to start an argument. No, I'm not. I'm saying this fast food habit, it need to be broken. These children don't need to grow up eating fast food day in and day out like we did when we was in the streets. And what I'm saying is, the life that I came from, we ate out 24/7. We still do it to this day. I kid you not, I'm at a Chinese restaurant right now waiting on food. What they say, China One? Yeah, I'm at a restaurant right now waiting on food. It's out of hand at this point. And I'm tired. We can eat regular food. It's not going to kill us.
I do not tip at those little credit card spin around kiosk things that they have at like coffee shops and bakeries and clothing stores and fast food, whatever. Like any place that you're just like buying something at the counter and they spin those things around and say like, you know, it's going to ask you a couple questions. I don't tip. And I have no shame about it. Because what am I tipping for? You didn't give me a free upgrade. You didn't give me a free extra shot of espresso. You didn't give my coffee a little kiss and tuck it into bed at night and give me a free discount. Nothing. Like, your job is to stand behind the counter at a coffee shop and make my coffee. And I I paid for my coffee. I'm already paying $9 for this 20-ounce iced oat milk latte or whatever. Your job is to make it, and your employer's job is to pay you to do that. And right when I'm inserting my credit card into the machine and you make a cute little comment like, oh, I love your earrings, or oh, your makeup looks so cute today, I'm not going to tip you because of that. Like, thank you, but a compliment is not worth another $2 on top of this $9 coffee to me. And I am a people pleaser to the core, but I think we all just need to take a step back and stop being a people pleaser in this situation. The people behind you, sure, they can see that you clicked 0% on the tip. And I promise you, as a person who stands behind other people in line, if someone sees you tip 0%, they're not thinking to themselves, oh, what a monster. Oh, what a terrible person. They didn't tip anything to this barista behind the counter. No, they're thinking, thank God someone else thinks this is as stupid as I do. Now I'm not going to be the only one that doesn't tip 0%. We all need to stop. Pay for your items, pay for the things that you're ordering, and let the employers pay their employees. Inflation is high enough, corporate greed is high enough. It is not up to the customer to pay the employee extra on top of what they already make. If we keep tipping at those kiosks, and the employers are getting exactly what they want. But if we stop tipping, they start making less and they start complaining to their employers. Or they leave and they go work somewhere else where the employer actually pays them enough, and then the employer has to start paying them more. It starts with us, and we need to start doing it.
You know tipping culture is bad in America when I have to go to custom tip and manually put 0. They are so petty that they will do anything in their power to make you start at 18%. And if you don't want to do that bullshit, you have to go to custom tip and manually type it. To whoever designed that thinking it would bring in more money, I can tell you right now that it's completely backfiring. I think most people would tip if it just started at 10 or 15%. But if you're starting your tip at 18% and you're making the page unskippable, I will gladly take the time to go to custom tip and put a fat fucking 0.
I am so over tipping. It's gone too far. And so here's my new perspective, my new strategy when it comes to tipping. Number one, I am not tipping anywhere where they ask me to tip before I experience the service. For example, I went and got a $9 smoothie the other day, and right when I was like ordering my smoothie, I was like, oh, I'll get the breakfast smoothie. Then they're like, okay, it's just gonna ask you a few questions. The answer is no. One, y'all haven't made my smoothie. 2, I haven't tasted my smoothie. 3, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this smoothie yet. Why am I tipping? Like, I'm not tipping. Also, it's a smoothie. It's not like a sit down restaurant. Like, what are we doing? There's a lot of places that make sense to tip, like restaurants. You experience the food, you experience the service, you're sitting down, you're being served. Of course you leave a tip there. But again, that tip is based off the experience. Okay? Same thing. Nail salons, you get your nails done, you pay and you tip based off the service. Okay? I'm not tipping preemptively. So that goes for coffee shops where they turn it around, ask you questions, ice cream shops, anywhere like that. Ice cream shops alone is just a no for me. You scooped my ice cream for 15 seconds and put it in a cup. Like, no. You guys are paid hourly. Like, hourly rates. If they're not enough, talk to your employer. But why is that burden being put on the consumers? I will never understand. As a business owner, imagine if every single time you guys bought a planner from my site, it was like, oh, just leave a tip. Leave a tip for what? We hand make all your planners, and I'm still like, leave a tip for what? No.
This is why it's cheaper to eat out. I got steaks only 3 days ago, but they are bad already. $27 worth of steaks, and they're bad already. $27 in the trash. So this is why it's cheaper for us to just eat out.
Okay, so as we try to survive through the process of inflation, my little suggestion for today is stop going to corporate food chain restaurant places and just start going to your little local eatery place that's owned by an actual person and not a corporation. Obviously, there's exceptions. Obviously, lots of places are still incredibly expensive. But today, I went to this little sandwich shop. I got this whole foot-long sandwich, a smoothie, like a whole smoothie with like protein in it and everything. The guy even gave me like a little cup filled up, I already drank it, but like a little cup filled up with the rest of the extra smoothie, a bag of chips, a water bottle, and a cookie. And it was all $24. And then he gave me like a little card and punched it. And he was like, if you come back, after like 10 smoothies, you get a free smoothie or whatever. And I was like, this is such a better experience than I have going to like Sweet Green down the street where I spend $24 and I walk away with like a salad and a little like chocolate or something, right? And $24 is still $24, right? Like, I even remember, like, 5 years ago, if I go somewhere and get lunch and it's $24, I'm like, ugh, you know? And I still feel like, ugh. But I live in DC, and I'm so used to now, like, everything is just so expensive. It's like, if you buy food anywhere, you're gonna be spending so much money. And this is so much more food than I normally ever get going to lunch places. Guys, like, we can't be sitting on this.
Anytime you walk into a restaurant, ask them, who's your food vendor? And if they say Cisco, just know you about to eat a Lunchable for $40. Like I fucking said, I'ma eat it though.
All right, Vegas, here we go again. These hidden fees, I'm telling you. So if you haven't seen my last video, check it out. But this is proof right here. I literally got receipts. So this tourist right here comes to Vegas, goes to Hell's Kitchen, has a summer sampler right up there for $80. He gets his tax, 6 something, a tip already charged to him for almost $15, and then his total. And then they have the audacity to put down here, gratuity not included. Here's your options for the tip. So who keeps this? The restaurant? I'm telling you, this is getting out of hand, these hidden fees, and it's making our tourists lose faith in the business that we're running here in Vegas. They are. They're getting nickel and dimed all the way down the strip. Well, stuff like this. I'm telling you, this is hurting us, Vegas. This is hurting us. It's shady, it's sneaky, and it's making our tourists lose trust in visiting Vegas.
I think I have to explicitly say no tips. I don't ask for tips anyway. Like, I charge what I charge, and that's what I want to make, and I'm fine with that. But some people will tip me and think that means I'm going to answer their text or email at 3 a.m. I didn't ask for it, and I'm definitely not pressuring you to tip. So I think this year I'm just going to write out no tipping.
Tipping is completely out of control at this point, guys. And this is a dig not on the employees, because I understand that people are struggling in this economy in 2025 with all the crazy inflation, and this is just a dig to the employers. Listen, if you guys don't want to pay your employees enough so that they can survive without having the customers supplement them, you shouldn't really have a business. I understand in regards to things like restaurant workers, you know, waitresses, waiters, those folks understand what they're getting into. But tipping is rampant everywhere now. You can't go to any place and check out without them having to turn the iPad screen around and watch the extremely uncomfortable worker like look away because they're so embarrassed to have to eyeball you in the case that they're trying to expect a tip just so that they can afford their rent because the person that owns the business doesn't pay enough. So I really don't know what the solution is in American culture. I just no to all of it. It's not a no to the workers and them being able to have a livable wage. It's a no to the constant ask for things that shouldn't even be tipped. If someone's literally standing at the cash register and ringing me up, they haven't done anything to deserve a tip where I'm going to pay an extra 10, 15, 20% on top of my purchase because the owner won't pay them enough. That's not the worker's fault. The owner is the one that should be paying them that amount of money so that they don't even have to ask for tips. But it's just gotten ridiculous where you can't buy anything anymore without it asking for a tip, and I'm completely over it. Let me know your thoughts.
Would you like to know how much these 2 bags of groceries cost in the United States in October 2025? Let's find out together. I just went to the store to get groceries for tonight's dinner, so keep that in mind. This is for one meal, all right? This is the first bag. We have a zucchini. My first name also starts with Z, so for Alphabet Day in kindergarten, I made zucchini bread. Well, my dad made zucchini bread, but I brought it in. I have a fondness for the zucchinis. Some white mushrooms. And in bag 1, we have a little bit of ginger. If you couldn't tell, I'm going to be making some curry tonight. All right, off into bag 2, we have a bag of spinach. Pre-washed, triple wash. That's a lot of washing. Got some naan bread. We have some crushed tomatoes because I don't trust the real tomatoes here in the States. They taste like styrofoam. An onion, one with layers, just like an ogre. Coconut milk for the curry. A spicy chili pepper. We have a thing of cashews. And last thing we got, I treated myself. I got some manchego cheese from Spain. All in all, I got 11 things. Now, before I tell you how much I paid for this, I want you to tell me where you live in the world and how much you think that you would pay for this. And also give me your best guess as to what number I'm about to say. All right, you ready? For 11 items, I paid $40.38. You heard that right, $40 for one dinner, okay? Obviously, I'll have some leftover spinach and cashews. What's the point? I might as well just eat out at a restaurant if it's this expensive just to shop. I don't know about you, but I am so excited for day one when apparently all of these prices are going to go down. Any day now. Seriously, I really just don't understand how we are expected to pay for groceries anymore. It is so unbelievably expensive just to live, just for one dinner. I can't do it anymore. My solution is I'm just straight up moving to another country, but I don't know what else to do. Otherwise, I just sit here and complain for the rest of my life about grocery prices, but I don't want to do that, and I don't think you want to hear me do that, so that's what I'm doing. What do you think about these prices? I mean, just between the cheese and the nuts alone, it's $20. That was half the bill, and I hate to be cheesy here, but that's nuts.
We ordered sushi from one of my favorite sushi places here in Dallas, and they got the order wrong. So we're going through the checks, and my husband's like, wait, $8.40 for marketplace inflation. Like, I understand if you're like, hey, you know, times are tough, things are gonna go up, our food is a little bit more expensive, please still support our business. Like, cool, I get it, I respect that. But to add it as a whole line item is so wild to me. But also at the same time, I'm like, how can we as individuals charge marketplace inflation? Like, you want me to go out after 10 p.m.? Marketplace inflation.
So Americans are starting to tip less. A recent Wall Street Journal survey found that Americans were starting to push back on tip prompts for basic transactions and service charges, and overall were just very frustrated with tipping culture, which has always been around in America, at least in the recent history, but has really exploded in the past couple years, kind of with the rise of those tip screens, etc. And tipping has been around in American culture for quite a while, but in the past couple of years, it has definitely exploded with the proliferation of the tipping screens, just kind of coming out of COVID. And the survey revealed that in response, Americans are starting to have higher standards, to warrant tipping, using cash to avoid the tip screens, or simply tipping less or not at all. And this isn't just about saving money, though I think that is a factor during times of economic uncertainty. I think there is also kind of this psychology piece at play where I think a lot of consumers believe that the traditional boundaries of what deserves a tip has been overextended to transactions that previously didn't include tipping. And a really good example of this is those self-service kiosks where you kind of go and scan the items and then ask for a tip. And understandably, that feels pretty frustrating and annoying that you have to deal with that. And, you know, tipping has normally been guided by widely understood, if not unwritten, rules. And as these norms have become violated on the tipping end of things, you know, tipping has kind of been inserted in places where it wasn't inserted before, people are understandably getting frustrated by that, one. And two, they're also just getting exhausted by having to navigate all these different social expectations that are just rapidly changing around tipping. So that's leading to people to tip less or not at all. And I was saying before, economic pressure definitely plays a role here, but I think it's a little bit more nuanced than just cutting costs. So yes, I think there might be some consumers that are foregoing the tip just to save a couple bucks here and there, but I think we're also seeing a fundamental shift in consumption patterns. So people are eating out less, cooking home at more, etc. It's also really important to point out that tipping has partly been about social signaling and power relationships. And as the power balance shifts between service providers and consumers through technology and changing economic conditions, tipping behaviors will adjust accordingly.
After finishing the video, let me know what you guys think about some of these restaurants and whether you think customers are now being overcharged by some of these restaurants and whether tipping culture has gotten out of hand like some people claim in this video. I personally think some aspects of the tipping culture definitely needs to change. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for tipping. I'm not even against the tipping culture per se, because I do think it encourages good service and it provides a good incentive. So I'm all for that. But what I'm really against is nowadays you have people turning that screen around and they expect you to tip when they're barely providing a service and sometimes literally just doing their job, which is the bare minimum you could ask. So in that case, I don't think there should be a tip that's expected, because that's just unfair to the other people who are actually providing a really good service. And on top of that, I do think some restaurants need to chill with the fees because their prices are already priced for inflation. That's why you don't see $10 chicken tenders anymore, like 10 years ago, and now they're all like $20, even $30 at some restaurants. So that's already inflation. You don't need to charge an inflation adjustment fee on top of that. That's just called being greedy. That's just called trying to milk the most out of the situation where customers and regular Americans are already getting squeezed, getting hurt by the rising costs and the inflation. Some restaurants really don't need to add fuel to the fire. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments.